Uh, Good morning, and here we are. It's a very special day here at Shakespeare Glass because it's Somerset Day. Look, Somerset flag. You might have turned the camera to get it the right way up. There we go. I've lived in Somerset since I was 4.5, apart from odd times going away and doing other things, and I never knew there was a Somerset Day until a few years ago. But there is one now. So there we go, and we should celebrate it. I can still remember, well, I can't remember the exact point where I puked up in my parents' car on the drive from Birmingham to Somerset when we were moving, but I did. Anyway, what we're going to do for Somerset Day is I'm going to make 2 Somerset tumblers. So one of our ranges that we've done for a long time is called Somerset, and it's based on the Levels, which are some of my favourite places in the world. And I grew up in North Somerset, so I was very used to the North Somerset Levels. And now I've ended up in South Somerset. It's a whole different view of the Levels. Equally beautiful, probably not quite as big as Skye, but probably a slightly more variety. So there's my first gather. I've just shaped it. I'm going to heat it up again and put the base colours on. So, I'm going to make 2 tumblers today, and you can make me an offer for them if you want to. Now, the offer could be cider, or it could be the price of them based on the date of Somerset Day. In fact, they're going to be given to the person who comes up with the most, well, the thing I want the most, really, I suppose. Because if you offered me £115.23, which is the 11th of the 5th, 2023, I will probably reject that. No, I wouldn't. I'd take that. But if you offered me £5.11, I'd reject that. And again, probably if you offered me 1 bottle of cider, I might be a bit sniffly about that. But if you offer me a whole barrel, that might be quite nice. Or a holiday. In Somerset? No, not in Somerset. Holiday not in Somerset. But it's got to be related to Somerset. So see what you can do. So I've put 1 layer of colour on so far. I'm going to put another layer of colour on. So this is the light blue. It's called sky blue for obvious reasons. And this is called anagram. All the colours come from Germany. A lot of them still have German names. So that's anagram. And this is Lichtblau. So there's the colour on. So if we look at the other marver, I've laid out some canes and some chips, which are, I'm going to put on now. And they basically symbolise the reeds on the edge of the Reeds in Somerset. So you've never been to Somerset, it's an amazing county. It has a seaside, well, you wouldn't really call it a seaside, the Bristol Channel, which does go in and out a lot. The Quantocks, the Mendips, really amazing. Right, so I'm going to roll this colour on. So you can see that I've got those on there like that. I've got to heat those in. And I have to admit, I never thought I'd end up in Somerset. When I was growing up, I couldn't sort of wait to leave. And now I'm very glad I've ended up back here. And the best thing about Somerset is the M5, because that carries most of the people all the way through it, down to Devon and Cornwall, which is a good thing. And I can remember the M5 being built. So I grew up in Brent Knoll, and I can remember climbing the hill and watching the motorway crawl down through the Mendips, and then gradually get past us. So all the colours melted in now. Back to my chair. So this is just a pad of wet paper. So all the videos that we're taking now that are on Facebook, we're gradually putting them all up onto our YouTube channel. So we're going to have a catalogue of videos up there which range from the embarrassing to the factually incorrect. But if you want to pop over to YouTube and have a look at them, please remember to subscribe to our channel. And that's not something I ever thought I'd have to say, but I am. So I put a bubble in this now. Got to get it hot again. So once it's hot, I'm going to just stretch it a little bit and blow it a little bit. So I have got a former over here, so I'm going to try and make them roughly the same size. So here's my former, which is just a bit of MDF. So the cut-in line, which I'm cutting in now with a pair of jacks, is where this piece will come off the blowing iron. So I just want the sides to be straight. It's a straight-sided tumbler. And obviously I want the bottom to be flat, so I'm just pushing that up. So as I push it up, you can see it's now a little bit short, so I've got to heat it up and blow it up again. I mean, the chance of these two tumblers being the same size is remote, by the way, but they will be unique. And they will be a pair, and we will send you a copy of the video, so you have video evidence of us making them. So I've just burnt out a bit more. Make sure the sides are straight. Make sure the bottom's flat. So these tumblers, the issue with them is that you can't see from the side whether your drink's run out. But there we go. So that's about right to me. So I'm just going to put a chalk mark around the side so I can see where to attach the punty. So we have a knocking off box over here. So I'm just wetting the file down with a little bit of spit. To have a higher surface tension of the water, it's less likely to crack the piece. Oop. Oop. So if we now look at that, we can see the top of it where it's come off and the bottom. And I've got to make a little donut punty. So you can see by putting the little chalk mark around the bottom, it helps me an awful lot to get this punty in the middle of the piece. So I look at the chalk mark, I can work out how wide it is. And if I rest this iron in the middle there, I can just get it in the middle. Give it a little push and pick it up. So now I've turned the piece round and I can heat up the top. Well, you can drink anything out of a Somerset tumbler, really. You could drink cider out of it. You could drink the water from the River Parrot, but you wouldn't last very long. It's not really big enough for cider, though. I always think cider has to come in a proper glass with a stem and a foot. Bizarrely, I don't like drinking cider out of a sleeve or a pint pot. So now the top of it's a bit hotter, so I just slip the jacks in there. I haven't got it too hot, so I just want to make sure that's flat. You can see the colour starting to come out now. But at home I tend to drink wine out of tumblers as well now, which is very poor really, isn't it? But I do. Is it very modern? Wow, I best stop then. So I'm just slowly edging this out. So I've just got a pair of, this is wood here. It doesn't mark the top as much as a pair of metal jacks does or a pair of plastic jacks does. Well, plastic is actually Teflon. So I'm going to put the whole piece in, make sure the punt is still reasonably warm. And there's our Somerset tumbler. So I'm going to sit down and make another one of these. So there's a pair, but you don't really need to watch me doing the same thing again. You could just watch the video again without the sound and you had the same effect really. So there we go, there's a Somerset tumbler. That has to go away to cool down slowly now. It'll be ground tomorrow and finished. There we go, thanks for watching.